So as we are discussing, we have the clock set to 1, J 1 and K is also 1. Excuse me. So plot all that on your circuit diagram, and for the purposes of this, I'm going to assume that my previous state of the circuit was this: Q was 0 and Q complement was 1. Now remember in the start, and as the diagram is also showing you, that Q complement is being fed into the J NAND gate and the Q is being fed into the K. So let's show that in the circuit diagram as well. This Q complement is also shown on the line of Q complement, and Q0 is also shown below the K. Now we can evaluate that because we already have all three inputs that we need. We do not need to assume the NAND gate rule or anything. So in the first case scenario, I have clock 1, J1 and Q complement 1. So 1.1.1 is going to give us 1 and inverting that would give us 0. So NAND is going to give us 0 here. And in the K gate, we have 1.1.0, which is going to give us 0, and inverting that is going to give us 1. Now, to use the truth table of the SR flip-flop, we know that if we have a 0, we are going to have a 1 here. The new value of the Q is 1. And that one is being fed with the 1 just below, and 1.1 is going to make the Q complement 0. So we have evaluated the circuit, but it is not going to just stop here. Now we have two new inputs which are going to be again evaluated. The Q complements input and the Q's input are going to be updated with J and K, and this time you are going to see that the place of 0 and 1 is going to switch. Because if you look at the J side, it's 1.1.0, which is going to be 0, but inverting it would give us 1. And from the K side, it's 1.1.1, which is going to give us 1, and inverting that is going to give us 0. Now again, using the NAND rule from the 0 side, the Q complement is going to become 1. And that one is going to be fed with this blue one above, and 1.1 would be 1, inverting it is going to give you the 0 at Q. So again you have new inputs and you can feed them back into the J and K. So the Q and Q complements values as inputs have been updated, and if you evaluate it again, you would see that on the J side you are going to have a 0, and on the K side you are going to have a 1. And again applying the NAND rule, this 0 would give us 1 at Q, and 1.1 are going to give us 0 at Q complement. This thing is actually going to just keep continuing itself until we have the clock 1. The Q and Q complement are just going to keep racing towards each other. So you can say that the Q is going to toggle. In case of J and K being 1 and clock is also being high, the Q is just going to toggle. The first case scenarios are just as same as the SR flip-flop. In case of 0, 0, the Q was unchanged, and in case of 1, 0, the Q was 1, and the 0, 1, the Q was 0. But in case of 1, 1, the Q start to toggle from 0 to 1 and 1 to 0, and actually that is very important because this phenomena is used to make our counters, and we can use edge triggering to actually stop this, control this, and but that's not the part of our discussion today. I hope that you have a better understanding of the SR and JK flip-flop. This topic of the sequential circuits have now come to close. If you have any questions, I'm going to take them now. Thank you very much. Stay safe. Allah Hafiz.